for doing that. So she's an inspiration. In the 10 years we've done Beachside Riders, she's one of our inspirations. Another is a guy named Dave Parham. Dave, I met 2 years ago at Beachside after we did an assignment where I said, all you have to do is you have 45 minutes to write anything having to do with the Oregon coast. There's no rules beyond that. And David Parham wrote a piece called Cabbage that was wildly and enthusiastically received at our read aloud session on Saturday night. And the next morning at our Metaphors Be With You brunch, they demanded that he read it again. I'm happy to have with us tonight David Parham and Cabbage.
Cabbage? We grew a lot of cabbage, so we made sauerkraut, purple and green and strong enough to make the snot run out. We made it by the bucketful. Then we fermented it in crocks. We shredded it, we salted it, and we mashed it before it freed of shoes and socks. We put it down in the basement where we weighted it with stone. Then, waiting in its own sweet brine, we left it all alone. Because just like wine, or cheese, or love itself, sauerkraut is always better aged, and it has an active living culture, unlike where I was raised. A full gallon crock every day from July 4th through Halloween, and when Thanksgiving rolled around, they numbered 114. We really like our sauerkraut. We've always considered it a treat, but suddenly we were scooping kraut onto everything we'd eat. Sauerkraut and corn, in casseroles, on lobster rolls with beans. It tasted great in scrambled eggs, best hot dogs ever seen. Oh, there were Reuben sandwiches, of course, and sausages by the score. But I knew we had a problem, Bob Welch, when we tried sauerkraut s'mores. We took to drinking shots of brine, our daily dose of juice. Gastronomically addictive, it kept our tummies loose. That tangy enzyme elixir was a digestive miracle. It mattered not when you hit the pot. You could void yourself at will. Well, we ate sauerkraut. We drank sauerkraut, and we never gained a pound. But although sauerkraut is low in fat, it's mighty high in sound. Dear Lord, that backside bugle would blat reveille each dawn and then improvise funky jazz riffs as the days wore on and on. Now, I must confess amusement to puck a tight and fake a tune, but not so swell the unholy smell that would permeate the room. See, winters out in your hats are wet and windy, cold and gray, so we seal the farmhouse windows tight and we pack the base with hay. Now this keeps us nice and cozy, snug and warm till spring shines bright, but we never considered the consequences or the meaning of airtight. And so, savoring sauerkraut symphonic sounds and that sauerkraut sachet, we spent that long, cold winter tucking all that kraut away. Now, I am not a stupid man, and frankly, neither is my wife. Well, she's not any kind of man. On that, I'd stake my life. But here's my point. There is just no way we ever could have known how much sauerkraut gas had been building up inside our hermetic home. Still, everything would have been just fine when April rolled around and we opened up the windows and raked the hay up off the ground. But here's the thing. Before the spring, my brother came to spend the day, and the way it goes, the day he chose was the day we were away. Well, Joe let himself in. He always does. We gave him his own key. He walked into the kitchen, sat down to wait for Ma and me. Now, I do not tolerate smoking. And I have told him straight before, if you gotta suck them cancer pegs, Joe, do it outside the door. But brothers are like babies. When there's no one around to see, they do exactly as they please. Or so it seems to me. I'd always said, those are going to kill you, Joe. It turns out I was right. Because when he flicked his bick, my friends, my brother saw the light. Boom. As did everyone who lived for miles and miles around, and they say as far away as Eugene. They heard the sound. Our farm was gone. It was just a smoking hole. And as for my reformed smoking brother, an earlobe with his diamond stud was the biggest piece recovered. But we rebuilt a brand new farm that you can plainly see. And while we did, we forged as well a new philosophy. For as ye shall sow, so too shall ye reap. That is now our family's adage. And yes, we will keep gardening. Still, we're never growing cabbage. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yellow.
Good job.